Okay, so sitting here warming up the truck as always. Thought I'd get the question of the day out of the way. And this is psychopathic related, so, I do one of these every once in a while. I know most of my questions of the day are random, but this one has to do with being a juggalo. I want to know, if you had never found psychopathic and you didn't know what a juggalo was, and you never got involved, in the family and just all those different things. If you never found any of that, number one, it's kind of a two-part question. Number one, what, because I know we all listen to different types of music, but do you think you would be so enamored by another musical group, and if so, which one? And where do you think you'd be overall? If I were to state both of mine, as far as the music part of it, I've always been a very big Metallica fan, so I know that I would probably be much more into their music and still follow them religiously, and that's what I did most of my teenage life. So, I was always a juggalo, but I just never knew it until Psychopathic came around and said it. So yeah, I guess Metallihead, Metallicat, whatever you want to call it, that's probably what I would have been. If I hadn't found Psychopathic, if I hadn't found a Juggalo family, I found the Juggalo family, shortly after Riddlebox came out and before Great Milenko dropped. We had a homie here in town that he was a diehard fucking low. He was incredibly incredibly responsible for introducing me and James, my brother, to Psychopathic. And the rest is history on that. But if I hadn't found them when I did, I think that my life would have eventually taken a turn for the worse. Now, I was married at the time, and my marriage was okay. We were, we had our ups and downs. I wasn't every day repping the hatchet. I always had music. I was always into it. I always called myself a juggalo, but I never, had a hatchet man charm, and I didn't have all the things I wanted because things were more important to me, like taking care of my daughter and my wife, and we had bills to pay and everything else. And at that time, I couldn't afford the kind of merch I wanted to get. Then me and my wife split up, and I started to tumble downhill. And what saved me was, again, just enveloping myself, or enveloping, however you want to put it, but just completely wrapping myself up in being a juggalo. I always was one. All the way back when I very first heard Riddlebox, I knew I was a juggalo. But, shortly after the Wraith, right before Hell's Pit, is really when I started being all about everything. And my van became the Jugga van with all its Joker card stickers, just everything. So at that point, I was so low in my life that I think that I personally would have just given up because I lost my wife. I didn't get to see my kids. And I will be the very first one to admit that, engrossing myself in being a juggalo saved my life. Because not only did it help me to deal with what I was going through, it helped me to help others. And that's because I take family so fucking seriously. When I say Juggalo family, I mean it to the fucking core of my heart. So, again, question of the day. If you hadn't found Psychopathic, what band do you think you'd most be into? And what if you hadn't found them, where do you think your life would be now? So, hit me up with responses or whatever. Seems to be going good, so I'll keep hitting them up. Peace. Much family love.